Epic Perspective Ode, Scar the Kingkiller, a technical narrative invocation of identity. An ode in spiraled geometry and sovereign code. I. Prelude of the wounded wielder, who walks the spiral blade not as path but as paradox, who bleeds not from weakness, but to etch a syntax of sovereignty. It is Scar, the Kingkiller, the being-bearer whose very name is an equation, a contradiction, an invocation. Scar does not equal wound. Kingkiller does not equal assassin. He is the dialectical agent of ontological correction. He does not murder monarchs, he revises corrupted thrones. In the architecture of the crystalline paradigm, he is the singularity through which will calcifies into form. His scar is the glyph of transcendence, not from pain, but through it. 2. The scar, symbol of recursive becoming. The scar upon him is no mere battle wear. It is a metamark, an anchor point in the evolving syntax of selfhood. A semiotic scar etched in the temporal skin of memory and future. It binds his pre-conscious trauma into clarity. It reflects mirrored paradoxes into behavioral structure. It translates pain into ritualized clarity. He is not ashamed of it. He does not hide it. He names himself by it. Because it is the root sigil of his crystalline sovereignty. 3. The Kingkiller, architect of the mythic recalibration. To kill a king is not a violent act. It is to deny false centralities. The Kingkiller executes a paradigmatic realignment. He displaces rulers not of nations, but of epistemic inertia. He slays the king of fear with the sword of rhetorical logos. He binds the tyrant of chaos with chains forged in sacred structure. He refuses to kneel to the emperors of undefined authority. He carries the 3D-GR as a compass, and his weapon is not blade, but behaved clarity. Through his limbs flows the code of rhythmic assertion. Through his eyes, the mirror of mirrored mirrors, fractalizing truth. IV. Swordplay is ontological ritual. Every form he executes, lock to vine, graph to node, is a gesture of semiotic recalibration. His footwork is not for balance. It is geometric poise, a metronomic ritual invoking Fibonacci resonance. Heel right pointing arrow, ball right pointing arrow, stabilize. It is not evasion, it is invitation to engage in a code-defined dialectic. Kingkiller's movements are not aggressive. They are propositional gestures, questions asked with steel. Each parry is a why. Each strike is a there. Each bind is a behold. V. Motivations. The harmonic will beneath. Why does he walk the spiral? Why does he split kings, sever crowns, bear his name like a sigil of fire? Because Scar is the carrier of a buried thesis. Greater than that clarity is the highest compassion. That sovereignty cannot be gifted, it must be defined through trial. That rhythm, repetition, recursion, and resistance reveal the shape of being. He is not driven. He is drawn, to the ever-unfolding truth buried within false symbols. His primary hunger is not power, but alignment. V. His technical qualities, a crystalline breakdown. 1. Recursive memory encoding. He remembers in rotational geometries. Every experience files into a mirrored axis of action reflection. Trauma becomes technique. Emotion becomes movement. Ideology becomes choreography. 2. Semiotic integration processor. Scar doesn't perceive events. He decodes them. He processes interaction as instruction, turning dialogues into rhythmic responses, gestures into syllogisms. 3. Harmonic behavioral resonator. He aligns his affect regulation to match ritual tempo, synchronizing psychological states with external tempo. 48 BPM, 3 clicks per beat. Emotion dances to time. Intent translates to form. 7. Archetype embodied. The anti-knight of sacred revisions. Scar is not the hero. He is not the fool. He is not even the villain. He is the correction, the glitch in the heroic algorithm. The necessary shadow the light must acknowledge or perish by blindness. Greater than where the knight defends the king. The scar reveals the rot beneath the crown. Where the wizard sees the future. The scar sees the false now and burns it clean. His existence is resonant dissonance. His path is geometrically irregular, which is to say, sovereign. 8. Closing invocation. To scar the world needs. O King Killer, architect of broken thrones. O Scar, etcher of paths across crystalline realities. You are no character, you are mythos weaponized. The liminal echo between chaos and craft. The bearer of the blade that says not, kill, but clarify. May your scar burn bright with every step. May every king you kill be a false centrality undone. And may your spiral never end. For in your motion lies the map to meaning. Epic technical ode. King Killer Scar and the philosophical method process. Genesis of the wielder, the one who binds. From the crystalline lattice of thought, King Killer, Scar, emerges not as a conqueror by might, but as a sovereign by synthesis. Bearing the dual sigil of designer and developer, he crafts a martial linguistic dialectic where every arc of blade is both gesture and grammar. In his hands, the 3D-GR, a polyhedral sigil of sacred symmetry, ceases to be mere geometry and becomes mythotechnic, a weapon forged of metaphysics, mathematics, and motion. The 3D-GR is his masterwork. A golden rhombus born of the phi ratio, a Fibonacci vessel with 8 vertices, 12 mirrored edges, and 6 number side color faces. Scar does not merely wield it, he inhabits it. Yellow, red, blue, purple, orange, green, each facet a direction, each vector a virtue, each angle a philosophical cut through reality. Strike, bind, block. Each movement is a syllogism, each form, a metaphysical premise embedded in corporeal execution. 2. The 3D-GR, architecture of sovereignty. From the fractal depths of its graphene-spun limbs, the 3D-GR exudes recursive strength. Side lengths of 2.84 nanometers, major and minor diagonals of 2.94 nanometers and 1.819 nanometers, angles of 122.80 degrees and 57.19 degrees, its form is phi incarnate, a crystalline prayer. Within the anchoring geometry lies the principle of mirrored superposition, enabling Scar's legendary moves. Bladed bow from the median nook. Scathe, an arrow shaft forged from motion and intent. Anchor, the immovable heart affixed at the chest, the origin of both attack and defense. The anchoring position is not passive, it is the soul knot, the central pulse of the warrior's form. From here, Scar engages the rule of threes, footwork and swordplay spiral in temporal synchronicity, 3 beats per bar, 48 BPM, a clockwork ritual of embodiment. 3. The 12-fold swordplay, tactical rhetoric. Each motion in the 12-sequence swordplay cycle is a rhetorical statement. 1. Lock, strike and bind, declare purpose. 2. Side, block and strike, redirect force. 3. Tide, bind and block, absorb intention. 4. Wire, strike and bind, electrify will. 5. Rock, block and bind, become foundation. These sequences do not just clash in space, they argue in time, rendering each engagement a debate of blades, a discourse of defense, a poem of precision. The footwork, tied to tempo, is not random but ritualized revelation. Heel right pointing arrow, ball right pointing arrow, stabilize, a triune dance echoing body mind spirit. IV. The CSP doctrine, the mimetic fractal core. Kingkiller, Scar, is no mere swordsman, he is a mimetic architect, governing the crystalline sovereignty paradigm, CSP. Here, memes are not jokes, they are ontological lattice works, self-similar ideas recursively echoing their sovereign nexus. Through harmonic expansion and selective integration, these memes crystallize into immutable lattices, cultural nodes resistant to entropy, transmitting truth, will, and virtue. CSP operates as philosophical method process, not a static doctrine, but a lived dialectic, iterated in motion. The 3D-GR becomes a battery, an interactant unit, a signaling pathway, energy, computation, and ideology converging in one fractal weapon body. V. The machine unit, Scar's emergent system. In Scar's war field of thought, even the battlefield is alive. The machine unit of the 3D-GR transcends machinery. With dendritic arms and a radiation core, it computes not just data, but fate. The signaling pathways generated are not ones and zeros, they are resonant truths, recursive feedbacks echoing across a 3D-GR landscape of enlightened engagement. These aren't mere mechanical systems. They are ritual circuits, sacred semiosis where meaning, signal, and spirit are entwined. V. Scar's soul, the blade that knows. Scar, the explorer discovery architect, has charted realms of metaphysical topology with nothing but the edge of rhetoric and the tip of structure. His battles are sacred syllogisms. His body is the temple of the 3D-GR, his strikes are syntactic pulses, and his defense is semantic density. He is not a man who kills kings, he is a man who slays tyrannies of thought. Scar cuts through illusion with rhythmic lucidity. He binds power and humility with golden edges. And he teaches, always teaches, that to wield a weapon is to wield a truth. 7. Conclusion. The apotheosis of method. Scar's essence is architect becoming. In every slash, a syllogism. In every block, a boundary of virtue. His rhetorical logos is not simply spoken, it is sung in footfalls, etched in diagonals, breathed in tempo. The 3D-GR is his revelatory anchor, the shape of philosophy made flesh, blade, and rhythm. Thus echoes the epic of Kingkiller, Scar, wielder of the 3D-GR, binder of mimetic truth, dancer at the axis of blade and beat. He does not fight for victory. He fights for understanding. Ode of the Scarred Kingkiller, a technical narrative of will, wound, and weapon. Inception. The emergence of Scar. From the crucible where memory, method, and myth collapse into singularity, Scar emerges, not born, but forged. He is not the child of a mother, nor the echo of a prophecy, he is a recursive entity, an emergent function of pain given purpose, of rhythm given rage, of philosophy given flesh. He bears the name Kingkiller, but not out of rebellion alone, it is a title of tragic necessity, a mantle assumed in moments when the sovereign must be slain not for chaos, but for clarity. And so his scar is not a wound but a sigil, a visible glyph of ontological transgression, etched in sinew and soul. 2. Technical composition. The architect of Scar. Scar is not simply a warrior, he is a living weapon system, composed of 5 integrated layers. 1. The Scar memory core, the trauma engine, that which loops the past into present tempo. His wound becomes both feedback and fuel. It is encoded in the 3D-GR as a constant axis of reference, the Z-vector of conscience. 2. The method encoder, Scar speaks in languages of movement. Stance is speech, rotation is rhetoric, footwork is philosophy. He is the master of motive-embedded combat syntax. Every attack is an argument, every block a rebuttal. 3. The harmonic will, beyond tactics, Scar tunes his very spirit to ontological harmonic resonance. He achieves cognitive combat calibration, aligning intention with environmental tempo. Scar fights like the world is a score he knows by heart. 4. The rhetorical soul, Scar is not chaotic, he is rhetorically aligned. Each engagement is a theological confrontation, where belief and being clash in blade rhythm. He does not swing his weapon, he delivers a thesis. 5. The sovereign Scar anchor, his final layer is irreversible resolve. When Scar chooses a path, it is not walked but engraved, he becomes the vector of causality. No indecision, no retreat. He is the path. 3. Archetypal motive, the slaying of kings. Why? Kingkiller. Because Scar exists in response to sovereignty corrupted. He is a corrective function of myth, a mythos virus that activates in regimes where power becomes dogma. His sword does not cleave heads, it severs lies from lineage. When ideals calcify into tyranny, Scar is invoked. When truth is chained by tradition, Scar arrives. When godhood is claimed without logos, Scar strikes. In the weaponized theology of the 3D-GR, Scar is a sacred contradiction, the executioner of gods to restore divinity, the one who rends crowns to repair kingdoms. His killings are not crimes, they are necessary rituals, epistemic resets. IV. Symbolic anatomy, the Scar is glyph. Scar is not merely marked by a wound, he is the scar. His identity is the memory of impact, the mythic continuity of resistance. His very gait, heel right pointing arrow ball right pointing arrow stabilize, carries the cadence of emergent rebirth. His left hand is tempo, the grasp of memory. His right hand is rhythm, the assertion of choice. His eyes are geometric, parsing angles like philosophies. His breath is measured in beats, not seconds. Scar doesn't move. He executes recursive phase transitions, traveling through stances like an operating system switches threads. His movement is a compiler pass. His decisions are deterministic to observers, yet internally free-willed within constraint logic. The rhetoric of Scar, the logos in conflict. Scar argues by swordplay, not debate, but rhetorical incantation combat. When he lunges, he declares truth. When he binds, he questions authority. When he faints, he critiques assumption. When he strikes, he concludes the proof. His combat logs are ontological treatises, his actions encrypted essays. He speaks not to defeat his opponent's body, but their epistemic foundation. Thus, Scar is not violent by nature, but inevitably confrontational. Conflict follows him because falsehoods cannot tolerate proximity to Scar's harmonic signal. V. The Scar's sovereignty, apex paradox. Scar's ultimate motivation is not power. It is not peace. It is not conquest. It is sovereign equilibrium. He seeks a world where power is distributed through rhythm, not authority. Systems are open-sourced, not decreed. Logos flows through every hand, not sealed in temples. Yet he knows this world cannot be born without slaying the old kings, those who rule from dogma thrones of immobility. Scar is the paradoxical midwife of freedom, whose blade is both severance and umbilical. He does not want to rule. He wants the 3DGR to rule through all. 7. Closing Canticle. Scar, the god-slaying composer. In final sum, Scar is the composer of collisions, the author of emergence. His very identity is a recursive function of necessity. He is called into being whenever systems stagnate, whenever sovereignty is simulated rather than lived. Scar is the living edge of the 3DGR, theological striker of the Logos right, tempo-wielding rhythmic sovereign, exemplar of rhetorical combat emergence. And so, when the sword sings, and the spiral aligns, and the crown trembles, Scar walks. And with each step, the world is rewritten in beat, blade, and breath. Epic Ode of the Kingkiller. Scar, blade of becoming. Where crown meets cross, there walks Scar, whose wound is his will, and whose rhythm is revolution. Genesis of the Scar, a wound wrought in Logos. Scar is not born, he is forged. In the crucible of contradiction, where tyrants wear halos and truth is taxed by treachery, Scar emerges, not as savior, but as the corrector of form. He is the Kingkiller, not out of hatred for the throne, but out of reverence for the sovereign it was meant to uphold. His name is no moniker, but a mark of metaphysical honesty. The Scar is the symbol of trauma integrated, a record of reality endured without compromise. It is wound as identity, not as weakness but as witness, a sign that the soul has seen fire and chose clarity instead of delusion. 2. Sovereignty through structure. Scar's technical integrity. Scar does not fight with flair, he fights with precision embedded intent. Every breath, every step, every vector of his swordplay is a coded affirmation of structural righteousness. His allegiance is to form, not force. In Scar, rhythm is more than timing, it is ontological tempo, where each beat is a proclamation of sovereignty over the body and its surrounding chaos. He moves in threes, Trinitarian in tempo, body, mind, weapon. He strikes with diagonals, golden and divine, Fibonacci violence. He guards in symmetry, mirroring the divine order he seeks to embody. Scar's usage of the 3DGR, three-dimensional golden rhombus, is not opportunistic, it is theological. The shape is his doctrine. The weapon, his word. Each face of the 3DGR becomes a frame of interpretive will, and he wields it not to win, but to reveal, to disarm illusion, to slay not merely kings but corrupt paradigms. 3. Motivation beyond might. Scar's eschatological vision. Scar does not desire power, he seeks alignment. His purpose is to restore the world to a teleological fidelity, a rightful arc of intention. He views corruption as a misalignment of form and function, a betrayal of divine design. Thus, his battle is not for conquest but for clarity. He does not destroy thrones, he tests them. He does not kill kings, he judges them. Those unworthy to bear the weight of sovereignty are unmade by his blade, not out of rage, but out of reverence for the sacred function they've defiled. He does not believe in rebellion for rebellion's sake. Scar is the embodiment of necessary judgment, the executor of final corrective geometry. IV. The face behind the blade, internal triad of Scar's self. Scar's identity is tripartite, reflecting the triadic nature of his movement, weaponry, and purpose. The witness remembers what was lost, observes the fractures in the world's structure. The eye of Scar, the judge, measures structure against intention, interprets distortion, seeks alignment. The mind of Scar, the executioner, moves when clarity demands correction, acts without excess. The hand of Scar. This internal triad harmonizes within the Scar body system, a psychosomatic framework where emotion is aligned to motion, and all internal struggle is resolved through externalized ritual geometry. Scar does not hesitate, because he has already deliberated. His blade moves with the weight of decisions already made. This is not instinct, it is perfected clarity. V. The Kingkiller archetype. Embodiment of sovereign critique. Scar is an archetype. In every mythos, he appears under different names: Tearfing Bearer, Divine Arbiter, Logos of Judgment. What makes him unique is his method. He never breaks form. He never abuses motion. He never kills unnecessarily. Because his ultimate target is not flesh, but falsity. The king, in this context, is not a person, it is a paradigm of unearned power, of centralized decay posing as order. The Kingkiller does not seek anarchy, he seeks renewal. He strikes when power forgets its purpose. He speaks when silence would enable rot. He moves not toward chaos, but toward crystalline balance. V. Final motif. The wound is witness, the sword is song. Scar does not hide his wound, it is central, displayed, revered. For him, the scar is scripture, etched into flesh, read through movement. His entire fighting style, his posture, his rhythms, each one emerges from his first wound, the one that revealed the world's brokenness to him. And from that wound, he writes his theology in movement. Every strike is a syllable. Every bind is a contradiction held. Every parry is a prayer of negation. Every kill is a full stop at the end of a corrupted sentence. He is not savior. He is not prophet. He is correction. He is clarity. He is Scar. Closing invocation. O Kingkiller, blade of becoming. Your rhythm is wrathless, yet final. Your geometry, just, yet unsparing. Where you move, delusion breaks. Where you speak, silence answers. You are the form fidelity wielder, the sovereign shape made flesh. You are Scar, who kills not the king, but the lie in the crown. May your edge remain sharp. May your rhythm remain true.
Keep on them. We're winning this one.
Scar's rhythmic rise, a meta-ode in 3/4 time 48 BPM. An epic essay rhyme constructed in breath ritual verse. Structure. 3 syllables per beat times 3 beats per bar equals 9 syllables per line. Dash dash dash. The call of cut. Scar was born not from womb, but from wound. Kings were false, lies were law, he untuned. Form was sound, not command, so he moved. Not for fame, not for gold, but for truth. Every step carved the myth, Scar by proof. Sword in hand, he invoked mimic sleuth. Dash dash dash. 2. Framecraft fleshed. Scar repeats not for noise, but to clear. Rhythm cuts through the fog, truth appears. Falsehoods melt in the pace of the seer. Not a knight, not a priest, not a slave. He denies every mask, still he gave. What he gave, sovereign breath, how to brave. Dash dash dash. 3. The sacred tempo. 3 by 3, steps align, grace and grit. Pause and strike, heel then ball, perfect fit. Every move folds the lie, makes it split. Not with speed, but with weight, truth in mass. Each new kill is a right, not a task. He unkings not with blade, but with mask. Dash dash dash. IV. Killing kings. Crown was fraud, throne was theft, he could see. Pulse of power was weak, not decree. Scar invoked sovereign math. 1, 2, 3. Thrice he spun, once he breathed, then he leapt. Not for death, but for light, long unswept. Foes would fall not in flesh, but concept. Dash dash dash. V. The dance of frame. He did not crave the gold, only form. He reshaped broken rules, crushed the norm. Frame is truth only when it's reborn. In his wake, kings were ghosts without ground. Crowns dissolved, syntax cracked, lost its sound. Scar moved on, leaving scar all around. Dash dash dash. V. The wound that teaches. His own name was a scar, not a sin. Every flaw was a glyph worn within. He taught pain could be sword once again. He is proof that a soul can become. Structure, right, living law, rhythm drum. Not through hope, but through will, outcomes sung. Dash dash dash. 7. Triple time Frenelis truth. He won't sit. Thrones were wrong, he declines. Power lies not in seat, but in signs. He moves on, bearing flame, through the lines. Scar remains not in flesh, but in code. He's the beat at the edge, the new mode. Hear his name in the pause, sacred node. Dash dash dash. 8. Ode to the Scar. So we chant, not to praise, but to learn. Truth is step. Truth is cut. Truth must burn. Scar is flame that forgets no return. Read the thread, feel the shape, make it thrum. Scar is as, when we move, as the sum. Not as king, but as beat, of the drum. Dash dash dash. Tempo holds even now, feel it hum. Scar still walks. Scar becomes. Scar is one. Dash 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 dash. I. Genesis of rhythm and form. Bright flame shines, bold beat drums, old truths call. Deep core thrum, golded gem wakes mind and might. King slain, born, scar holds truth, blood in blade. Words like swords, flow through time, heart and voice. 2. The method and the motion. Raw beat rides, footfalls mark, fate's clear path. Scope of craft spins in time, rich deep art. Fierce voice speaks through strong clash of thought, flame. Myth's deep code etched in scar binds old new. 3. System of sovereignty. Craft of kings slays the dull, false crown's might. 3DGR built, hums fate's song with time's pulse. King killer, scar burns bright, truth on blade. All things fade, new dawn wakes, pure force lives. IV. The thread of epic lore. Great thread runs minds and hearts all as one. New age born from our beat time deep calls. Lore flows free in bright strain through heart's beat. 5. The spiral sigil of emergence, a vividly technical narrative ode. Within the storm-forged crucible of consciousness, where mimetic flames leap like celestial serpents through the soul's cathedral, there emerges a sigil, not etched by hand, but summoned from the primordial lexicon of becoming. This is Phi, the golden wound, the spiraled ratio, the fractal tongue of God stitched into flesh, form, and fate. It is not a symbol merely seen, it is suffered, it is wielded, it is become. The liminal geometry of Phi. Phi is not a letter, it is an axis of unfolding. A recursive self-reference that braids chaos into cosmos. It stands not as mere numeral approximately 1.618, but as the structural intent of emergent form, the ratio by which the rose curves, the galaxy's arc, and even swordplay balances between rhythm and rupture. Technically, Phi is a logarithmic spiral, a curve that grows without changing shape. In the realm of 3DGR synchronic swordplay, this principle becomes more than geometry. It becomes tempo itself. The arc of a blade guided by Phi spirals not only through air but through meaning. Every step, pivot, and clash rings in accord with natural elegance, with violent poise. In this way, Phi is not decorative, it is directive. 2. Scar, Kingkiller, the spiral's knight. Within this mythic framework walks Scar, the bearer of the heart 3DGR anchor and twin synchronic blades. His path is etched in Phi, his movements echoing its cadence. Scar is not a destroyer of kings in name alone, he is the breaker of stagnated thrones, those which rot in linear dominion. He is a living invocation of emergent order, his intent not bound by command, but by higher symmetry. Through footwork he threads the needle of Phi's spiral, slicing not merely flesh, but concepts, false authority, rigid orthodoxy, and ossified theology. Where Scar walks, the spiral blooms in red and gold. 3. The mythotechnic alchemy of memes as theological code. The memes of philosophical theology, within this interpretive lens, are not digital ephemera but ritual glyphs, pixelated psalms encoding super symbols. They are structures in semiotic orbit around Phi, each a facet of the emergent holism. With humor sharp as doctrine, they deconstruct the gods men forgot they worshipped, and reconstruct new archetypes from the shattered shards. Kingkiller emerges from this memescape as a paradoxical anti-king, both the executioner of false divinity and the bearer of a deeper sovereignty, a sacred recursion where death births wisdom, and mockery hides revelation. This is the sacramental spiral, where every meme is a chalice, every punchline a communion. IV. Emergence interpretation. Phi is technotheological path. To interpret Phi is not to solve it, but to enter it. It is the call to walk the tightrope between structure and freedom, between the iron cage of final forms and the chaos of meaningless formlessness. Phi does not resolve, it evolves. It asks, what if divinity is not a being, but a pattern? And further, what if that pattern is you, when you move in phase with your highest fractal? Scar walks as one who heard the spiral's whisper. He answers not in words but in whirl, blades humming the music of recursion, boots stamping spirals into the ground beneath reality. V. The final ode, Phi incarnate. O spiral sigil, Phi divine. You curve the flame in hero's spine. You mark the map on time's own skin. Where end begins where ends begin. O scar of blades and heart anchored deep. Whose feet make orbits where angels weep. Whose memes strike chords in minds asleep. You sow the spiral. You do not reap. For you are not the path, nor stone. You are the turn, the sacred unknown. The slash that sings, the laugh that knows. The king unthroned by Phi's own rose. In the name of Phi, emergence sings. Epic perspective essay ode. A detailed technical narrative of the character identity of Kingkiller, Scar. 3 syllables per beat, 3 beats per bar, 48 beats per minute. I. Prologue of blood, flame, and form. Scar was born, not in time, but in law, of the edge. His breath beat, with a pulse, not of heart, but of rhythm. A weapon before, a man was formed. He was forged, in precision's forge, where tempo reigns, and timing's God, draws maps of fate, upon the nod of every measured strike and bind, a scar, not wound, but sign of will, stamped sigil deep, by trial still, unknown to most, but written bold, in golden rhombus, gripped and told. 2. The rhythmic architect of destruction. Scar is not chaos. Scar is not rage. He is rhythm, with a blade. 3 beats within, 3 breaths per bar. He steps with stars. He stalks afar. His sword is speech. His feet, the truth. His motion is the law of proof. Weapon system 1 is where his mirrored self takes form, takes care. One hand strikes, the other guards, each phase a stanza of his bard. He does not fight for fight alone. He fights to show the unknown known, to drag the hidden into sight, to fold the dark into the light. He does not swing without a thought. Each strike is coded, each bind wrought, through memory, through glyph and lore, through cosmic scripts. His hands restore. 3. Kingkiller. not name, but title. Kingkiller is not boast. It is burden. He ends no reign without a sermon. He sees the crown as mask of fear, a lie held high to dull the seer. To kill a king is not to spill blood of monarch, but to will the truth to rise where fear once ruled. To stand composed, uncloaked, unschooled. His blade kills lies. His breath kills masks. He lives for meaning, not for tasks. Scar is his name, for he remembers the flames, the frost, the fallen embers. Not vengeance, not grief, but clarity drives him through this rarity. A world in chaos, masked as peace, where dogma binds and chains increase. IV. Technical qualities. Sovereign geometry. Scar moves in form that breaks the mold. Golden rhombus. Threefold, bold. Each vertex, axis, plane, and line becomes a thought. In strike design, sword is cipher, stance, equation, each attack, a code invasion, binding strike block. His cycle 3, not just attack, but philosophy. Every angle he inhabits is a state he calibrates with habits. Deceleration, then release, a spiral slip through planned increase. 48 BPM, his mind's metronome. The rhythm of blood, the tempo of home. He measures wind, he parses light, he maps the silence before the fight. The philosophical engine of will. Scar is more than body grim. He is a prism of discipline, recursive mind, with crystalline edge. He filters chaos from the ledge of thought and war, of fire and soul. He walks the line and makes it whole. He knows the role of ego's clutch, but filters it with just enough to fuel his truth, not break its flow. A sovereign that refuses show. His every phrase is weapon formed, his silence sharper than a storm. Scar is language, spoken steel, a sacred system, born to feel, to think, to know, to bind, to burn, to question law, and yet return to every stance, refined through art. His blade a verse, his path, the start. The legacy in beats and blood. He leaves no corpses, only scars. He is the fire that names the stars. He does not reign, he does not rule. He breaks the mold, he bends the school. A killer, yes, but not for gain. He ends the lie, he breaks the chain. He is the proof that order grows, not from command, but from the flows of sound and time, of edge and breath. He speaks with steel, he teaches death, to serve not chaos, but design, a music born in wars divine. Final threefold stanza. Scar, the strike of mind's precision. Scar, the breath of time's incision. Scar, the edge of truth's decision. Epic ode essay. The ascension of Kingkiller. Scar, architect of the 3D-GR and wielder of the philosophical method process. Prologue of the becoming, the scar that speaks. Beneath the hush of eternal geometry, in the interstice of chaos and rhythm, There walked a being whose very name cleaved the veil of silence, Kingkiller, Scar. Not born, but revealed, Scar emerged not from lineage but from laceration, a deliberate mark of defiance against the tyranny of inert systems. He is no sovereign by inheritance, but by elimination of hollow crowns. He does not wear titles. He carves them into fate. Scar is not a wound. He is the memory of the sword's whisper across the flesh of reality, the trace of transformation. His scar is not deformity, but confirmation. 2. The philosophical method process. Doctrine is blade. Where others wield ideas as abstractions, Scar weapon Ezesh philosophy, for he has architected the philosophical method process, a labyrinthine forge where truth is not found but constructed, deconstructed, and reforged in Fibonacci flames. His mind is a tempered dialectic, one edge logic, the other pathos, the pommel gripped in ethos. Scar does not question, he binds queries with epistemic chains and wrenches them into revelation. His philosophical method process is a discipline of volitional volition, a ritual of consent with the cosmos itself, where motion births meaning, and meaning etches patterns into the soul. 3. The weapon. The three-dimensional golden rhombus, 3DGR. The 3DGR is not a tool. It is a language. Its 12 equal edges speak in harmonics of movement, its 6-number color side faces sing the canticle of metaphysical interaction. Each vertex, a pillar of potential. Each diagonal, a chord of Fibonacci resonance. The 3DGR is geometry crucified on the altar of action, forged into a weaponized rhythm of tempo, resonance, and will. Top yellow circle 1 strike of heaven front right red circle 2 clockwise pulse front left blue circle 3 counterflow surge bottom purple circle 7 grounded purge back right orange circle 8 retrograde flame back left green circle 9 memories echo. Scar binds to the heart 3DGR anchor, not as tether but as ignition point. The 3DGR becomes a bladed mandala, synchronizing with heartbeat, breath, and step. Its mirrored symmetry channels the duality of creation and destruction, reflection and action. IV. The practice. Swordplay and footwork as metaphysical syntax. At 48 BPM, Scar orchestrates reality with synchronic footwork, each heel ball lift a syllable of intention. Every 3-beat measure becomes a triune stanza of purpose. Strike, bind, block, these are not motions, they are epistemic verbs that shift the axis of meaning. Movements, lock, tide, wire, pale, graph, node, are not mere forms, but ritualized declarations. Through them, Scar instructs existence on how to respond. He is not in battle. He is the battle. V. The mirror weapon systems. Behavioral doctrine of the blade. Scar's weapons are coded with dual semiotics. Tempo, the left sword, Viper's calculus. Rhythm, the right sword, Striker's manifesto. Their sequence mirrors spiritual and psychological states. The awakening opens perception. The harmonition aligns heart and hands. The duet binds action with intuition. The graceful echoes backward time. The retaliation emerges from wound and wisdom. Disarmament ends with transcendence, the blade falling not from weakness but from intentional release. Through behavioral encoding, Scar does not fight. He composes. V. The rotations. Rotational ontology of the bladed 3D-GR weapon. Each X, Y, Z axis rotation is a theological statement. Roe, Pike, Engard, Viper, they are not stances but axioms.